Guys, today, we're gonna close a wound that has been open for way too long. General Grievous and Magnaguard are getting a rework 2.0. Cue in the song.
Rework, Grievous, rework, Grievous. CG, get your act together and rework, Grievous, rework, Grievous, rework, Grievous. Come on, CG, don't make me pray to Jesus.
Oh, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. General Grievous has been a heck of a roller coaster this year. We don't need to rehash too much. If you guys are around during the General Grievous rework period, it came at the worst time for Galaxy viewers. Darth Revan's pretty bad too for the meta, but Jedi Revan was a horrible thing that was added to the game that completely ruined balance. And after several months of dominance, we were hoping that this boy right here was going to be our redeemer and slay the Jedi, but there were just way too many problems. And Grievous really at the time was really only able to beat Jedi Revan about 50 to maybe 70% of the time, and he was never perfect by any stretch of the imagination. So of course, we eventually closed up that chapter and we just let it be. We just let Grievous be what he was. And with Gear 13 around the corner, I was feeling pretty optimistic that Grievous was going to become a lot better. And then we see the additions of Wat Tambor and all these other new Separatist things being added to the game, new Gunray Zeta, for example, and I was satisfied. But ladies and gentlemen, we are getting some serious overhauls that General Grievous has been needing for so long. These changes right here solve so many problems, especially when going up against Jedi Knight Revan. Grievous, some of the stuff should have been added when Grievous was first reworked, but I'm pretty sure they give a different story. I'm pretty sure that they had different intentions of not doing this immediately because they didn't want to upset Jedi Knight Revan owners, because a lot of this stuff fixes a ton of problems, as I'll tell you today. Wow, oh man, Grievous is gonna be a seriously awesome character now with a lot of these changes, plus Gear 13 and all these other stuff, and who knows, maybe there's more Separatist droids coming in the future, and Wat Tambor maybe having a spot in here. Maybe. I'm thinking I'm gonna probably have to revise my old opinion that I gave in the Wat Tambor kit reveal with this new update we're getting, so I'll explain my revised update in a second here. And man, I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but there's a long history of how the developers and I communicated after this whole General Grievous thing was rolled out. So it's kind of nice seeing that this is kind of a light way of admitting that they were kind of wrong and the characters kind of needed to be brought up to snuff a little bit more, because man, whew, I got a huge earful on General Grievous and whatnot in my comments afterwards about how I felt about the rework. So here we go. Oh man, the joy. Hi, Holotable Heroes. When we released General Grievous rework back in February, there was a lot of feedback. That's a nice way of putting it. That the rework didn't make him powerful enough, or at least as powerful as some expected. As you can probably imagine, although we weren't able to talk about it at the time, we knew Gear 13 would be coming in the near future, and we wanted to ensure Grievous and the Separatist droids didn't become an utterly overwhelming force of Gear 13 into the game, which is why with Gear 13 coming out, I wasn't expecting any other additional reworks to Grievous and Magnaguard as well. And knowing at the time that we wanted to double down on health being his scaling stat, we were conservative with the power we gave him at the time in anticipation of the power gains he'd receive with the introduction of Gear 13. But a lot of these changes really doesn't have much to do with the Gear 13 scaling power. There's one very simple thing, or maybe two simple things, that would have made Grievous fine at the time. A lot of these are probably done after Jedi Revan isn't the problem, or isn't a concern to be addressed anymore. So during our playtesting leading up to the release of Gear 13, we discovered that even after applying G13, we found that although we were satisfied with where General Grievous is landing, there was still some room for improvement to grow the Separatist droid faction based on our intended targets. That's what I'm saying, that a lot of these changes have not much to do with Gear 13. There was a lot of just mechanic things that weren't working out for him that made him too easily targeted, especially Magnaguard, because the problem is Magnaguard was the weakest link for our team. And I think I actually just said this yesterday. One of my biggest problems with Magnaguard is that he just doesn't taunt enough. He really doesn't taunt enough, and because of how his unique ability works, where he only can taunt when he's using the ability during its turn. They changed it. Now Magnaguard should be a more suitable option for General Grievous. That has nothing to do with Gear 13. It was just the reworks weren't really up to snuff back then, and now they're addressing things that I think are just completely independent of Gear 13, and more, this might be more of a different way of saying we don't want to upset Jedi Knight Revan owners back then. So what actually were the changes? Let me tell you, son. Whew, man. So first of all, Grievous, a lot of these things are things I complained about every single time when using General Grievous. I use General Grievous a lot in Grand Arena when I go up against Jedi Knight Revan. General Grievous, this is important because now you don't have to worry about using Jedi Knight Revan up against Jedi Knight Revan or Darth Revan up against Darth Revan. These changes, we're going to have to test it out. We'll have to wait and see. But just looking at these changes and me playing hundreds and hundreds of battle against Jedi Knight Revan, these changes will now make Grievous, I think, a more consistent counter to Jedi Knight Revan, and this is very helpful for Grand Arena. So first of all, Grievous wounds. One thing when you go up against a Jedi Knight Revan team is that there's so much foresight sometimes as Grandmaster Yoda, so sometimes it wasn't worth using Grievous wounds, but now the big addition is this attack can no longer be evaded, and this affects all ability tiers. So no matter, I'm guessing what they mean is no matter what level upgrade you gave to Grievous wounds, it just can't be evaded. At level 1 for the ability, it's not going to be evaded. And another problem I was having with Grievous is that Jolie, and now with corrupt battle meditation from Bassa Shan being undispellable, they counterattack so much. Well, Sunny D, now with target locked enemies, they cannot counterattack. This leadership just got so much better. This stops teams like Commander Luke Sky. I'm thinking Jedi Knight Revan mostly because that's kind of the biggest thing he was able to grasp at. Commander Luke Skywalker, if they have target lock, that's another big counter to General Grievous. So I don't quite know how it's going to work out when CLS goes up against Grievous now because they rely on heavy counterattacks. Chewbacca won't counterattack, CLS won't counterattack, Han Solo won't counterattack. So now you should be able to feel a bit more liberal using AoE abilities because before you used an AoE ability, boom, 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 you could CLS would just wipe out the character who used an AoE ability. Rest is the same, but these two changes right here they have nothing to do with Gear 13. They have nothing to do with Gear 13. These are mechanics that should have been implemented earlier to make Jedi Knight Revan battles a lot easier. And that's what we were expecting when we saw the gameplay given to all of us and everyone in the community saw the gameplay and we're like, wow, looks like Jedi Knight Revan is going to have a hard time. This is the stuff that should have been implemented back then. Very happy to see. I mean, better late than never, right? Better late than never. The Separatists are going to become better. But here's the thing right here. As I brought up with Magnaguard just a second ago, and I brought it up yesterday in my Wat Tambor video, is that Magnaguard, or just in general, Magnaguard has always kind of been the weak link for a Separatist droid team. That doesn't make sense because Magnaguard was kind of the personal bodyguard to General Grievous. Why would you want to get rid of Grievous's bodyguard? Didn't make too much sense. Of course, the game doesn't have to abide by lore, rules, and stuff like that. But look at these changes. Relentless Assault, first of all, they completely omitted the fact that Magnaguard could only taunt when he's using an ability during its turn. They took that out, so now he should be able to counterattack, or he should be able to taunt way more frequently when it uses an ability. So I believe this also includes a Magnaguard counterattacks. He has that 70% chance to counterattack, and he taunts for one turn when he uses ability. When he counterattacks, he keeps using his basic ability, therefore a taunt. I think that's how the logic works. It makes a lot more sense. So that's important right there. Grievous now has a dedicated tank, essentially, for Magnaguard. And the other big thing, oh my gosh, the one thing that turned Grievous into a lottery game when you're going up against Jedi Knight Revan is that you had to just pray to RNGesus that they didn't mark either the B2 Super Battle Droid or the B1 Battle Droid. Those two, mostly the B1 Battle Droid. If you take out the B1 Battle Droid, you mark B1 Battle Droid, couple seconds B1's gone, and the battle kind of tanks really quickly after that. So if they marked, let's say, Grievous, Droideka, Magnaguard, it's all good. Best case scenario, they should mark Magnaguard and you know you're going to win. And now they changed it so the odds are in your favor every single time when going after Jedi Knight Revan. All other Separatist droid allies stealth for one turn at the start of each encounter if General Grievous is an ally. So the cool thing is, this isn't even in the leadership slot. Grievous can be just an ally, and it's fine. So they kind of gave some leeway for how you can take advantage of this. So you can have a Dooku lead, new Gunray lead, maybe whatever other leads we're going to have, Pago the Lesser lead. As long as Grievous is in the team somewhere with Magnaguard, everyone, all the Separatist droids go under stealth. So it's not all Separatists, so Wat Tambor would be left open. So you probably don't want to use Wat Tambor with General Grievous now that they're kind of making Magnaguard a lot more incentivizing for a Grievous team. And the reason why that's so important, as I said of Jedi Knight Revan, a logical player, even just AI, would mark the right droid and completely wipe away General Grievous's team. But now, if you're hiding the B1 Battle Droid and even hiding the B2 Battle Droid, Jedi Knight Revan has to go after Magnaguard, and that's the very best thing that can absolutely happen for a General Grievous team. And even furthermore, Commander Luke Skywalker, a huge counter to General Grievous. Now Han Solo, when he would shoot first or whatever, you can't go after Grievous. CLS, he can't go around anyone and go after Grievous. They're going to have to go after the Magnaguard. So you're going to need something that has a mass buff dispel, which the Jedi don't. So Jedi Knight Revan, you don't have to worry about that. And I'm not going to say, I'm not 100% confident yet saying that CLS is, I'm not going to say that Grievous is going to have no more CLS concerns. That still could be the case. We'll have to wait and see about that. But just going after numerous battles with you guys and by myself against Jedi Knight Revan, every single one of these affects every little issue they had going up against the Jedi Knight Revan team. And I don't know now how easy it's going to be for Jedi Knight Revan trying to go after a General Grievous team. Again, we're going to have to test this out, but a lot of this stuff, if you can't go after B1 or B2 and you're forced to go after Magnaguard, and Magnaguard's going to be an annoying, frequent taunting tank, that could be a problem for a Jedi Knight Revan team, and this just addresses so many issues, especially with counterattacks being one of their biggest weaknesses. I could say now I feel pretty satisfied with these changes they made. Man, it's been a roller coaster. It's been a roller coaster, but we've made it, man. Oh. Well, that's going to be it for today, guys. Huge news about General Grievous that I want you guys to be well aware of. Like if you did enjoy the video, comment down below on the Grievous Rework 2.0, and be sure to subscribe so you're not missing a thing, and I'll talk to you guys in the very next video. Peace out, everyone. Cue in the song.
Rework, Grievous, rework, Grievous. CG, get your act together and rework, Grievous, rework, Grievous, rework, Grievous. Come on, CG, don't make me pray to Jesus. Rework, Grievous, rework, Grievous. CG, get your act together and rework, Grievous, rework, Grievous, rework, Grievous. Grievous better kill the Jedi in this next season.